It's the Daily Dog.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for hanging out with me today for another song reaction and breakdown. You made it to Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. And you know what that means. It is an Iron Maiden Monday. We are going back to Iron Maiden for one of their classic tracks, and by popular demand from a whole bunch of Iron Maiden fans, we are going to do the song To Tame a Land. And this song I have never heard before, and so I'm happy to give it a listen with all of you. It is from their album Peace of Mind, which is their fourth studio album. It was released in 1983. So I looked into the lyrics in the background of this, and sorry to say, I'm not going to be much help. And here's why. Here's why. This is based the lyrics of this song, what it's about, it's based on the 1965 science fiction novel Dune, which was later made into a movie, and there's several follow-ups to this and all that sort of stuff. So, I have never read Dune, I have never seen Dune, I do not know the story of Dune. It's kind of before my time, and I haven't really been interested. I do like occasional science fiction. I actually really love Star Trek, especially The Next Generation. That's my favorite of the series. Original series people. Sorry. Anyway. So it's funny. The band wanted to name this song Dune, but they were rebuffed. I've got a couple of quotes here. This is kind of fun. The author, Frank Herbert, refused to allow the band to call this song Dune. And there's a quote floating around on the internet that says that he said this in response to their request. No, because Frank Herbert does not like rock bands, particularly heavy metal rock bands, and especially rock bands like Iron Maiden. So he's like, y'all can have a Coke and a smile and just stay away from me, right? But they released the song anyway, and they called it To Tame a Land. And I think there's even a couple of like fan versions of this floating around on YouTube or the internet, where they've spliced in some depictions and images from either the movie or the novel or whatever. For those of you like me who don't know what Dune is about, other than like an occasional sand formation, Dune, like I said, was released in 1965 as a book, and I think there's a movie from the early 80s about it as well. In the distant future, there is a feudal interstellar society. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. The Atreides family, sorry, accepts stewardship of the planet Arrakis, and which is an inhospitable and sparsely populated desert planet, but it has a special spike or a spice or a drug that helps extends life and mental capacity. Isn't that always the thing? The things that help us have mental clarity are always the hardest ones to find. And this young person, Paul Atreides, leads some nomadic tribes in a battle to control the desert planet Arrakis. So all of these lyrics that I'm looking at, he is the king of all the land in the kingdom of the sands of a time tomorrow. It's all based on Dune, right? So if you know Dune, you probably love this. If you don't know Dune, you're like, I don't know. But we're going to listen to it anyway, because it's Iron Maiden, and they rock pretty hard. So let's take a listen to Tame a Land. This is the remastered version, studio version. Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. They're in B minor, G sharp minor, chromatic third relationship. back to B minor. That little is over the fifth. It's going back and forth between the natural, or the fifth of the chord and the flat sixth of the key, and you get that little half step motion that makes it sound like Arabian or Middle Eastern or Turkish in the way that those half steps work. They're up to E now. Back to G and back. That's a G sharp.
He's the king of all the land, in the kingdom of the sands of the time. Tomorrow, he owns the cycles and the flavor in the land amongst the stars of an age. Tomorrow, he is distinct to be a king. He rules over everything in the land. Come planet June, body water is your life, but without it you will die in the desert of planet June.
Guitars and bass both doing interesting section. They're going back and forth between F sharp minor and then E minor and D minor. All of those don't really fit in one key, but they're all the same type of chord. So they're just doing this riff over these chords, and then just moving the riff and then playing the exact same pattern just over a chord that's a step away, and then a chord a step away, and then moving back where they came from. It's not something that classical composers do very often. You'll see more of that in the 20th century than you would in the 1800s or 1700s for sure. Keep going. Yeah, so it was F sharp down to E. D minor, right? If it was based in the same key, it'd be a D major chord. Right? F sharp minor goes back up. D sharp minor. E. They're kind of using this and just moving it all over the place. And now it's like the intro. 1 to flat 6. B minor, where they were at the beginning. See, the B is still in this chord. It's a G sharp minor chord, but the B is the common tone. Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, that song had just about of everything that I would have expected from Iron Maiden. Great guitar solo, great vocals. Some of these songs with these vocals, especially at the beginning, it sounds like Bruce has to get these words out so fast. It's almost like heavy metal rap to me. You know, the thing I was talking about at the beginning, we're in B minor, right? And they go from B down to G, which is something that often happens. In a minor key, you go down to flat 6 and you come back. The B is in both of those chords. The B is the root of the B minor chord. It's the third of the G major chord, right? But there's that G sharp minor. You could call it A flat minor, but I think G sharp minor is a better way to call it because it does keep the B as well. The B is both the third of a G major chord and the third of a G sharp minor chord, right? And I think that's how they're tying all of this together. They're just taking this note and seeing what other chords they can use that keep it consistent or intact. To Tame a Land, Iron Maiden. That's the first song off of that album I think I've heard. Cool stuff. What a great way to start a Monday. And again, happy Maiden Monday, everybody. Up the irons as usual. And thanks for being with us today. And we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.